There's more breaking news coming in, and moving on to the other breaking news that's coming in is that what we're getting to know is that the EU has agreed that it will accept UK's request for a Brexit extension till the 31st of January 2020. In fact, that decision is expected to be formalized through a written procedure. So breaking news coming in at this point of time while the EU delegation is here in India. Another global headline coming in that the EU for now has agreed that it will accept the UK's request for a Brexit extension till the 31st of January 2020. What are going to be the implications of that decision right now, that big move that's coming in? Niranjan's on the phone line. He's going to break that down for us. Niranjan, a deadline extension till January 2020. What are the implications of it?
Well, we'll have to wait and watch what happens, because it's interesting times for both the European Union and also UK. Now, EU chief, going by what he's saying that the bloc has agreed to delay Brexit until the 31st of January. Now, whether this will have a direct impact on Boris Johnson's call for elections will have to be seen. But Donald Tusk has also said that the EU 27 has agreed that it will accept the UK's request for a Brexit flextension. They're calling it a flexible extension until the 31st of January 2020. The decision is expected to be formalized through a written procedure. So these are the details that we're picking up. What we'll do is, Sagarika, we'll just go back and also check and tell our viewers about the direct implications of what this means. Because Boris Johnson had also called for early elections. Of course, he received a major setback. As far as his vote in Parliament was concerned. So we'll have to wait and watch what happens from here.
Absolutely. So big breaking news coming in at this point of time is that there has been the deadline, the Brexit deadline has been extended. What are the implications of it? What does this mean for Boris Johnson, and what does this mean? What are the global implications of this extension? We will get to know. We'll track that story closely here. But for viewers just joining us on this broadcast, there is a big global headline that's currently coming in when it comes to the extension of the Brexit deadline. It is January 2020. The EU chief has in fact made a statement. EU president has agreed to extend the Brexit deadline till the 31st of January 2020. All right, Niranjan continues to stay with us. And Niranjan, like you've been telling us, it is something that needs to be looked at because of the kind of appeal that has been made by Boris Johnson. What does this mean after that setback? Because there is a deadline now, another 3 months to go, possibly. What does this, how are you reading this?
Now, what we're also picking up right now, Sagarika, is that the European Union had proposed to extend the deadline by 3 months to the 31st of January. Now that it's come through, and this is exactly what they wanted. This was also seen as a draft resolution that they had in mind when they met this morning. And they discussed this morning in Brussels, and under the proposal, UK would be able to leave the European Union earlier on November 30th or December 31st if both sides ratify this divorce deal in time. Now that they have agreed on an extension, we will have to see whether it will exclude any potential to renegotiate the withdrawal agreement. And this, what it essentially does is it requires the UK now to meet its EU obligations or European Union obligations in full during the extension. So the extension has now been given, and UK will have to meet its obligations. And this is also critical because French President Emmanuel Macron also tried to block the EU's attempt to delay Brexit for 3 months, insisting instead on a 1 month delay to the 30th of November. So even he's received a setback. So we will have to see. UK will now have to fulfill its obligations.
Right. So UK will now fulfill its obligations. Niranjan breaking down the details of that big development coming in. We'll also tell you about the other global stories that we're tracking this afternoon here on Republic.